It was more than a millennia ago. It was so far in the past that most don't remember. Perhaps in a dream. If you look to the stars, you can see far into the past, the distant past. For many men, fools, refused to do so. And their time came, and their time went. Pay heed. But then, before the Great War...
Well, first of all, she wants to give amnesty, which is a disaster and very unfair to all of the people that are waiting in line for many, many years. We need strong borders. They're coming in illegally. Drugs are pouring in through the border. We have no country if we have no border.
If Joe Biden became president, China will own this country.
If Joe Biden gets in, your Second Amendment is gone.
Your 401ks and money itself will be worthless.
No city, town, or suburb will be safe.
Religion will be gone. Life, you could forget about that.
The economy will collapse.
The market will crash.
The chaos and bloodshed will spread to every community in our land. We would have the greatest depression in the history of our country.
Wars across our southern borders just pouring and destroying them. And once the border is secured, at a later date, we'll make a determination as to the rest. But we have some bad hombres here, and we're going to get them.
Think of it, and this is their new hoax. But, you know, we did something that's been pretty amazing. We're 15 people in this massive country, and because of the fact that we went early, we could have had a lot more than that. We're doing great. And so far, we have lost nobody to coronavirus in the United States.
Suddenly, from the ashes of discontent, a demagogue rose. There had been many like him before, but this one seemed different.
For just $15 on Etsy, you can buy a patron saint of staying home prayer candle. That's a real thing. We read the reviews today. Here's one of them. Love it! Exclamation point. I think I may have to set up a little altar to place it on. Another exclamation point. There's a new convert. Here's another review from a woman called Kelly Hannon, quote, I put this in my office. I work in public health, and this makes me smile every time I look at it. Of course it makes you smile, Kathy Hannon. Virtue is its own reward.
For he had been born of many mothers, stealing lives while buying not wives. Just one held the key to his power. Russian rubles for together with his lessers, of which there were many. The grift was on. They made fools of the scientists, Fauci, Ouchie, and the written
Major
word.
theme right here, but 2 Corinthians,
For
right?
this
2
was the beginning of the end, for their time.
You have to provide them plastic by the media, by our allies, by the world.
Why would you answer that
because
question?
the question is,
radical left.
Would you shut up, man?
But one man spoke the words that all wanted to hear.
Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists?
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
But in a stunning act of betrayal, the demagogue's own feeble mind, he has a really big, betrayed him. Much like he had betrayed his people, again and again, for he was failing himself to not see the coming storm on his own horizons.
Like him, every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
He walks onto the stage wearing this massive mask. There's nobody on the stage. He's got the largest mask I think I've ever seen.
There's no reason for him to have masks on. He comes up with the mask. He's like 100 yards from the nearest human being. He's got a mask. I've never seen a man that liked a mask. Joe feels very safe in a mask. I don't know, maybe he doesn't want to expose his face. Did you ever see a man that likes a mask as much as him? What the hell did he spend all that money on the plastic surgery if he's going to cover it up with a mask? We won the debate easily last night.
This was the most chaotic presidential debate I've ever seen.
What a dark event we have just witnessed.
A low point in American political discourse.
For this shit show had been foretold by many men, perhaps as many as wanted Betty White. $15 on there was no virtue. Rue McClanahan comes free amongst these men. They lived a different life. My daughter made me do it. For no one to tell them what to do in Cancun. The demagogue's power had grown so great. With just weeks left, all would follow him now.
Scumbags. Look, Matt Gaetz, he paid minors to have sex with him at drug parties. Bob Good endorsed my opponent, a known neo-Nazi. These people used to walk around with white hoods at night. Now they're walking around with white hoods in the daytime.
As they seized more power. Power they were not owed nor given. Power that they took. It was not theirs to take. And there would be a price to pay.
Mike Lee testing positive.
But the price was paid by so many more.
Conway testing positive for COVID-19.
Tom Tillis tested positive.
The Reverend John Jenkins tested positive.
Chris Christie is now hospitalized.
Bill Stepien.
Ronald Daniel Hopix.
Their belief in themselves and virtue signaling to one another led them to throw off their cloths of sin. Morons, and they were left helpless. Pandemic.
Tested positive for the coronavirus.
None foretold this.
This is a Fox News alert. President Trump just tweeted moments ago that he and the First Lady have tested positive for the coronavirus.
Had the demagogue been slain, the wait began.
I want to thank everybody for the tremendous support. I'm going to Walter Reed Hospital. I think I'm doing very well, but we're going to make sure that things work out. The First Lady is doing very well. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I will never forget it. Thank you.
Each day.
I just want to tell you that I'm starting to feel good.
For he would continue to deteriorate.
We have enthusiasm like probably nobody's ever had. Our people that love the job we're doing.
Some say he was a god. Others say it was the horsewoman.
I would say by April you'll be able to be vaccinated.
If only the vaccine had come in time. Abort. The problems may have gone away.
The truth is, to beat the virus, we first got to beat Donald Trump.
As is often the case with demagogues.
Frankly, we did win this election. We're winning Michigan.
The winner of Michigan, Biden.
We're winning Wisconsin.
Biden is the apparent winner in Wisconsin.
We have won Georgia.
In the state of Georgia, Joe Biden is the apparent winner.
We're winning Pennsylvania by a tremendous amount.
Joe Biden has won Pennsylvania.
Plans that were to be secret cause a distraction for a time.
The Fox News Decision Desk is calling Arizona for Joe Biden.
Betrayal, Dr. Steele. Cause a distraction. God damn it, they're stealing Christmas. His lessers had betrayed him.
They're cheating and they're stealing your nation from you. It's time to fight. It's time to protest. It's time to get your MAGA on.
My choice, them was stealing the election. The media's covering up. Joe Biden's covering up this election. He's stealing it.
For this was not true, but more and more believed. Here, the strange
What was the last question?
And the strange little man had failed to bequeath a gift for his cousin wife. For there was no room at the end. For the solstice had come. Once again a new year of giving. As the traffic on the interstate drove by, the strange little man failed to notice that dongs were on sale.
$47, no? Is that...
All the networks!
Thine demigod would be well serviced and attended on the morrow by none other.
You can pick up this masked nativity scene online. It looks conventional, but look closely. It features Mary, Joseph, and the baby Jesus, all with their faces covered, as they should be, even in a manger.
Notoriously
They're masked. just like you were.
I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
I'm saying I might be Jesus. I might. I'm not saying for sure. I'm just saying it's a possibility. I might be Jesus.
Treated us worse than anybody's been treated from a legal standpoint in the history of the United States. All right, have a good time, everybody. Merry Christmas.
But a dastardly plan.
13th consecutive day that the U.S. has reported more than 100,000 hospitalizations.
Kept secret from even his closest advisors.
Most working Americans don't need a check right now.
They didn't vote for us, fuck them. Of their bitter revenge-fueled rage.
House Republicans killed that bill.
Merry Christmas.
So today I want to congratulate President-elect Joe Biden.
The demagogue and his lessers alike saw this as a sign. And so it was written, that there shall be no solstice for those who do not reach my commands.
Big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there. Will be wild.
Twit heard round the world. None shall disregard.
It's going to go down on January 6th.
If they will not certify, Donald Trump remains president of the United States.
January 6th, Washington, D.C.
This is our last shot, January the 6th. I plan to be one of the protesters.
That January 6th day could be a day of fireworks.
I believe that it is my responsibility to object on January 6th.
January 6th is a big, if you get a stimulus check, you may want to go out and spend it on guns and ammo, because it could come down to that.
From across many kingdoms, they came to the chosen place. It had been foretold.
Hell is going to break loose tomorrow.
Today is the day American patriots start taking down names and kicking ass.
You can be a hero or you can be a zero.
Let's have trial by combat.
You'll never take back our country with weakness. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you.
But like so many demagogues before, he ran back to a hole. Battle would rage on for hours on end, unabated by ancestral law that had ruled for a quarter of a millennia, now usurped. The guardians of the realm were vastly outnumbered. They came in waves for hour after hour. From his TiVo, the demagogue watched the destruction.
We love you. You're very special.
Yes, they were masquerading as Trump supporters and in fact were members of the violent terrorist group Antifa.
The message heard loud and clear.
Antifa was going to try to impersonate Trump supporters and attack the Capitol.
We have many credible reports that Antifa was very much involved.
Soon the lessers sprang into action. Only they knew the truth. Anti-fascists had done this.
Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
Hey! Hey, man!
What the world did not know was that this was just a small part, but a morsel of a larger scheme. Planned just a few hills away, a forlorn hope knew there was a reckoning to be had, and they were down the road. From the still burning embers of the Capitol sprang forth of Donald Trump himself.
On January 21st, I will be filing articles of impeachment.
From that forbidden love with his second wife's CrossFit machine, enter creatine laser weasel.
On Joe Biden.
So began the futile attempts to hasten the escape of the Soviet. Fuck Pebble, and the man with 5 shirts. Toiled in earnest to gaslight from the dastardly acts of their beloved demagogue.
Donald Trump is a living, breathing, impeachable offense. It is what it is.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
That's what this was today, a lynching of Donald Trump.
Arrived the lessers, pointedly selected by the Cancun doomed to repeat evermore, evermore.
The public wishes we were here dealing with coronavirus, not the virus of Trump hatred that you seem to have found no vaccine for.
Clearly the lesser of two evils.
The president today met in the Oval Office with the My Pillow guy from the TV commercials.
Throws caution to the wind to rescue his demagogue. Do not expect a pillow-soft landing, picking up or dropping off. The mystery is shrouded even today.
Announcing they are permanently banning Donald Trump from their platform.
Twitter has announced it is cutting off President Trump's ability to post on the social media site.
The president now banned from Twitter permanently.
This is the first time any world leader is known to have been banned from Twitter.
This is like the Germans with the Jews behind the wall.
The silencing of a demagogue had clamped down upon their midst. Freedom of speech, goddammit. How can a cult not have a leader? How will they know what to think?
Does anybody in this restaurant think it's a good idea to take the vaccine? Raise your hand if you think it's a good idea. Anyone here, is it a good idea to take the vaccine? Raise your hand if you think it's a good idea.
Gratuitous virtue signaling seems to run rampant in those with TDS.
The only person on screen right now who's been falsely accused of a terrible sex act. You and I went to dinner about 2 years ago. I brought a friend of mine. You'll remember her.
I don't remember the woman you're speaking of.
Nor Salisbury or Wing able to remember.
We talked about it. And he did have an affinity, there's no question about it, for Ukraine. I said, never let it happen. You better not let it happen.
And therefore the crushing blow of the loss of their leader led many to lose their minds, and they fought amongst themselves, believing that they may be saved by another. Seems to be a symptom. They hoped
Donald Trump will become president on March 4th.
They're able to believe
on
anything.
March 4th, Trump will be reinstated as president.
Trump will take office on March 4th.
He is inaugurated on March 4th.
Are you going to feel foolish on March 5th when Biden's still president?
Then Trump has a different plan.
Hoping against hope, the downtrodden play their last card, believing that JFK will return at the sight of his murder.
Did we land on the moon?
Kennedy is expected in Dallas.
Things so far have not happened the way we wanted them, and we're told that we're going to happen. We were told going to
Our
happen.
Savior has never let us down, leads us no matter what, for we know that he flies for us, for he loves and adores his people, as he adores the banner that shows freedom. It is not just the money and power, but it represents something greater, taking over of a nation. Constitution be damned. Ways not seen since the dawns of founding fathers. Usurped, but now his plans are averted, for he has gone way of the dodo. Heed my warnings. And over 1,000 years past, wars fought with sticks and stones. None have come close to the evil, malignant demagogue that was what was and never was again. Lost freedoms bring down empires, for freedoms are more important than those. Virtue signaling. Realize at the times of losing them, fools begot fools. One doesn't miss his water until the well runs dry. Reserve what you have and pray for rain. So power must be to those that are good, those non-bastards who do not take from the poor, those give to themselves who do not believe they are owed by your God. Hold yours close. Believe what you will, and love who you love, for time is but a construct. But every day that you walk the path, remember the demagogue stories of old. Never once make that mistake. Evermore, nevermore. For you have an instruction from the past. New day will dawn. Your morsel has grown to a larger, more fruitful piece of bread. Take heed and devour your bread, for bread, eat well, is but a learning, but a morsel to teach you the passings of time. Lend my words to others, but time does have a way of catching up with oneself. Do not fall down upon this ill-trodden game, for you hold the key in your time.
Your copy.
13.
Hello, America. I am doing great. I feel very, 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 very.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't negotiate, let's investigate, we'll accelerate, hesitate.